Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 12, verse 7 to 15. And that's in Apocrypha. But that's good, you know, because just like Paul, you know, like the brother was reading earlier, Paul reasoned with them after Shabbat, after Shabbat, after Shabbat. A lot of people, when they was in the temple, that stuff, just like stuff I hear, you know, stuff like you just said, just like Brother Ron said, it don't settle well. And when Paul came to them and said, y'all gotta give honor to Yahusha HaMashiach, that cut them, and he had to reason with them Shabbat after Shabbat, a year and a half with them, so they could get it. So, you know, again, you know, it's just like anything. When you go to school, you know, you start at first grade and then you go to 12th grade, but you got to learn in between. But we also have to come with a humble spirit as well. But 12:75. 12:75. That the land, again, we're talking about the Nephilim, the conduct of them, that the land which thou esteemest above all other might receive a worthy colony of Yah's children. Again, Yah wants his children, his godly children, where he is, and just like the brother was speaking a few moments ago, a lot of the things that Yah was talking to, especially in the Old Testament, and even a lot of things in the New Testament, he was speaking to Israel, Zion, the 12 tribes of Zion. These are his chosen people. Everybody can come. The strangers that are within Zion, they can come and worship just like it was in the Old Testament. But it was ordered nevertheless. Nevertheless, even those thou sparest as man, and didst send wasps, forerunners of thine host, to destroy them by little and little. Not that thou wast unable to bring the ungodly under the hand of the righteousness in battle, or to destroy them at once with cruel beasts, or with one rough word, but executing thy judgments upon them by little and little. Thou givest them place of repentance, not being ignorant that they were a naughty generation, and that their malice was bred in them. Just like we were speaking a few minutes ago when Brother King was talking about the breeding during slavery. You know, that's why genetics and knowing what spirit and what's in somebody's genetics as much as possible is important, because during slavery you don't know what type of males were raping these women and breeding what type of things and doing the work of Satan was. Their malice was bred in them. And again, that goes with soul ties. Each time they had sex, that woman took a piece of that man, whether that man was a regular man or that man was under demonic influence. She took a piece of that. And that their congregation would never be changed. For it was a cursed seed from the beginning. Neither didst thou, for fear of any man, give them pardon for those things wherein they sinned. And that was 2:15. For who shall say, what hast thou done? Or who shall withstand thy judgment? Or who shall accuse thee for the nations that perish? Who, see, that's a big thing right there too. God say, I'm going to destroy certain nations, and the writer of this is saying, who is going to tell Yah something when he destroyed this nation, a particular nation? Just like he was reasoning with Job. Were you there when I tied up the Pleiades? Can you subdue Abaddon? You know, some of y'all works are like wild to us, and that's why I say in Ecclesiastes, is it not that you're unrighteous and that I'm righteous? Just like when David went to whole nations and he killed everybody. Yah told him to kill everybody in a nation. Some people, a lot of people who mock the Bible, mock that and say, look at your God, he's a bloodthirsty maniac. But you don't understand what was the purpose. Many people don't understand the purpose of when he told they kill all of them because their bloodline was of the Nephilim. They were cursed seed, and they were going to do the will of their father, Satan. And I continue, whom thou hast made, or who shall come to stand against thee to revenge for the unrighteous man? For neither is there any Yah but thou that careth for all, to whom thou mightest show that thy judgment is not unright. So, again, just keep that on your mind. Some things Yah does and he teaches, some people might look at it, hey, that's not right. Neither shall king or tyrant be able to set his face against thee for any whom thou hast punished. So whenever Yah's ready to punish a particular people, nobody gonna stop him. For so much then as thou art righteous thyself, thou orderest all things righteously, thinking it is not agreeable with thy power to condemn him that hath not deserved to be punished. Okay? And again, this is mainly just talking about the wicked sea lion, and this is talking about the incubus, which derives from the perverted sea lion. Enoch 86. Enoch chapter 86, 1 to 6, and then we're going to go to chapter 88 and chapter 91 a little bit. But first start at Enoch 86, 1 through 6. And again I saw with mine eyes as I slept, and I saw the heaven above, and behold, a star fell from heaven, which, if you do the research and the studying and the praying, this was Lucifer, just like he said in Revelations, Lucifer was cast out. And it arose and ate and pastured amongst those oxen. And after that I saw the large and the black oxen, and behold, they all changed their stalls and pastures and their cattle, and began to live with each other. Talking about when, again, we'll talk about this later, but when the fallen angels came and started copulating and lusting after the daughters, first it was Lucifer, and then the other oxen, the animals or metaphors for fallen angels. And again, I saw in the vision, and looked towards heaven, and behold, I saw many stars descend and cast themselves down from heaven to that first star. That first star was Lucifer again. And they became bulls amongst those cattle, and pastured with them amongst them. And I looked at them and saw, and behold, they all let their privy members, they all let out their privy members. Again, when the angels were looking from above at the daughters of Zion, what they wanted to do, they just didn't want to spend some time with them. They wanted to be intimate with them. So as soon as they got here, what's the first thing they got? Hey, girl. It was time to fornicate, to fulfill their lust. And all let out their privy members like horses. It's like we was talking about in Ezekiel 23 about how, I noticed, it's good. That's why it's good to study. There's a lot of sayings, but that does not mean that they are for this group of people. That saying was for the Canaanites, when the Canaanites were known as the man of stature and with the large male members, as we was reading about the privy member of donkeys and the issues of horses. That was associated with the Canaanites, which do have Nephilim bloodline in them. The Egyptians did have this bloodline in them, and began to cover their cows and their oxen, and they all became pregnant, and bore elephants, camels, and asses. Just like we talked about this a few months ago, the elephant, the camel, the ass. Because all the generations kept diluting because they kept procreating with the daughters of man, and they become more normalized. Okay. Verse 5, and all the oxen feared them and were frightened at them, and began to bite with their teeth, and devoured, and to gore with their horns. And they began, moreover, to devour those oxen, and behold, all the children of the earth began to tremble and quake before them, and flee from them, because they are of a demonic seed line. These are something that, again, like I was saying yesterday, even though this being right here has angel in them and the women of man in them, but it was a mixture that Yah did not make or intend to make. This was out of order angels being filled with lust, laying with the daughters of man, who created something that Yah did not create. Even though Yah is in them, that's why he can't destroy them, because the spirit is in them. That's why he created hell. Before the angels fell, you do the research, there was no hell. He created hell to place the fallen angels and their offspring in there for the day of judgment and the disobedient souls. He was like, okay, what are we going to do about humans that disobey him and do all that? We'll put them in the prison that he set for the angels and their Nephilim children. Okay, and we're going to go to 88, 1 through 3. Yeah, Enoch, same book, 88, 1 to 3. 88, 1 to 3. Again, we're talking about Nephilim, which are the Incubus. This is where the Incubus spirit comes from. This is the foundation of them. And I saw one of those four who had come forth first, and he seized that first star, which had fallen from heaven, which the first star was Lucifer, Satan, and bound it hand and foot, and cast it into the abyss. Now that abyss was narrow and deep, and horrible and dark. We should all have an understanding that, this is the pit, hell and whatnot. And one of them drew a sword and gave it to those elephants and camels and asses. So one of the angels, and we talked about that, I think that was in Enoch 6, when Yah told the angels to give the weapons to the children of the Nephilim so they can kill each other, because Yah never wanted that seed line on the planet Earth. And he even told the angels to give them weapons so they may kill themselves. Then they began to smite each other, and the earth quaked because of them. And as I was beholding in the vision, lo, one of those four who had come forth stoned them from heaven, and gathered and took all the great stars whose privy members were like those of horses, and bound them all hand and foot, and cast them into the abyss of the earth, which again, that's the pit, that Yah made for them. And the disobedient humans who want to follow behind the path of the fallen angels and their children. Now we're going to go to 91 to 20. 91 to verse 20. And Yah called those men, the seven first white ones, and condemned that they, and commanded that they should bring forth him, being with the first star which led the way, which was Satan. This is just the end result. I just thought I'd just add this. This is judgment time for Satan. All the stars whose privy members were like those of horses, and they brought them all before him. So this is judgment day for Lucifer and whatnot, but I emphasized on the privy members. You know what I'm saying? I know it's an ego booster, for especially people who a lot has been taken from, but this whole privy member stuff, it's really associated with Satan and his offspring. Again, Zion, the man of Zion on Songs of Solomon. It's not that they are the standard of sexual pleasure. You know what I'm saying? You want to be like that, but some characteristics. They are not of Zion, they are of the other nations. Isaiah 45 and 14. Isaiah 45 and 14. Because, and this goes back to, because you got to think about it. What if a child of Zion, if she lays with an offspring of the Nephilim, and he's just ripping her apart, should I say, and everybody's like, well, just pray about it, but this is why it's important to understand the spirit of people. And I would even go back so far, this is me personally, hey, you got anybody in your family with 6 toes or something like that? Because I want to be extra Kadesh. I want to be extra, make sure I'm not getting trapped in anything. And that's the pinnacle of the Levitical priesthood. They was trying to make sure they were holy, so they would not be a profane thing to Yah, or any of their children or offspring be profane to Yah. But I just bring that out, say that. 45:14. Thus said Yah, the labor of Egypt, go back to Egypt, and the merchants of Ethiopia, and of the Sabians, man of stature shall come over unto thee. Man of stature shall come over to Israel, which is enforcing that, hey, Zion, the man of Zion, are not known in the Bible as man of stature. That is not, tall, dark, and handsome. That's a matter that is associated with the children of Egypt, not the children of Zion. And they shall be thine, they shall come after thee in chains, they shall come over, and they shall fall down unto thee. They shall make supplication unto thee, saying, surely Yah is in thee, and there is none else. There is no Yah. There's no other Yah. That's what it's saying. So the man of stature are going to come to Zion. This is end time judgment. When everything's being restored, when the kingdom is being set up, this is one thing that Yah is going to do. Not me, not anybody else. This isn't the plan, the playbook of Yah. He's going to make these particular people come to Zion in chains and bow down. And you do the research on the relationship between them. It's a lot of bad blood between Zion and these nations. And when Zion fell, they were very harsh with Zion. And that's one reason why Yah is upset with certain nations, because when Zion went into bondage, they overdid the torment of Zion when they were in bondage. The next one is going to be 1 Chronicles 11 and 23. That's one to drive, this whole characteristics of these people completely. 1 Chronicles 11, 23. And he slew an Egyptian, a man of great stature. And I'm driving this point home about who is known in the scriptures of who are the people of great stature. And he slew an Egyptian, in which they have been tainted by the Nephilim blood. And he slew an Egyptian, a man of great stature, 5 cubits high, and the Egyptian's hand was a spear like a weaver beam, and he went down to him with a staff and plucked the spear out of the Egyptian's hand and slew him with his own spear. Again, when David came to town, the giants didn't like David because David was under particular orders from Yah to slay these particular people. So David had a bad name to them. When they heard David, anger came. And it was because Yah did not condone this bloodline. Still to this day. Chapter 20, 4 to 8. 24 to 8. 4 to 8. And it came to pass after these that there arose war at Gezer, with the Philistines, at which time Sibishah the Hushite slew Sipah, that was of the children of the giant, and they were subdued. And there was war again with the Philistines. And Elkanah of the sons of Jer slew Lami, the brother of Goliath the Gittite, whose spear staff was like a weaver's beam. And yet again there was war at Gath, where was a man of great stature, whose fingers and toes were 24, 6 on each hand and 6 on each foot. And he also was the son of the giant. But when he defied Israel, Jonathan, the son of Shimei, David's brother, slew him. These were born unto the giant in Gath, and they fell by the hand of David, and by the hand of his servants. So again, and once you understand the bad blood between these seed lines, you understand why when they get empowered to beguile your women, you understand why they're so vicious and put these women in such bondage, which we're going to touch on, but I just want to give you the full background of these beings. Numbers 12, 26 to 33. Numbers 13, 26 to 33.
That's the number 13.
Numbers chapter 13, verses 26 to 33. Because again, this is spiritual warfare, and I know me myself, I'm going to do my due diligence to learn as much about my enemy that's here to kill and destroy me and my people as much as possible, to avoid as many traps and snares as possible. Because the scripture says, be wise as serpent and humble as dove. So we have to be wise as serpents, because best believe Satan got 24 types of highlighters, highlighting key points, rehearsing stuff, got his study team to study everything in this book, because Satan wants to be wise as a serpent, and we must be wise as serpents. But this is not the venomous part. 13 to 26 to 33. And they went and came to Moses and to Aaron and to all the congregation of the children of Israel unto the wilderness of Paran to Kadesh, and brought word unto them and unto all the congregation, and showed them the fruit of the land. This is the fruit of the land. So when the two spies, we should all be familiar about that. They went out to spy, and this is the report they came back. And they told him and said, we came unto the land whither thou sent us, and surely it followed with milk and honey, and this is the fruit of it. Nevertheless, but there's a problem here. This land has a problem. Nevertheless, the people be strong that dwell in the land. Whether it's the third generation of the Nephilim offspring or the second generation, and it seemed like it would be the second generation, because the flood already happened, and during the flood, this was the first generation of them that was gone. And the city are walled, and very great. And moreover, we saw the children of Anak there, the Amaleks dwell in the land of the south, and the Hittites, and the Jebusites, and the Amorites dwell in the mountains, and the Canaanites dwell by the sea, and by the coast of Jordan. And Caleb stilled the people before Moses, and said, let us go upon at once and possess it, for we are well able to overcome it. But the man that went with him said, we be not able to go up against the people, For they are stronger than we. And this isn't just like, oh, they can beat us in the arm wrestling contest or something like that. This is a whole nother ball game. And they brought up an evil report of the land, which they had searched unto the children of Israel, saying, the land through which we have gone to search it is a land that eateth up the inhabitants thereof, and all the people that we saw in it are men of great stature. Again, the men of Zion are not noted as men with great statures, but the Canaanites, just like it was this in verse 23. And there we saw the giants, the sons of Enoch, which came of the giants, and we are in our own sight as grasshoppers, and so we were in their sight. So, again, like it was saying, these beings ate the inhabitants at that particular time. So, they was having, Hebrew stew, and the Hebrews weren't invited. But, know thy enemy. Well, now, as special guests, special guests, yeah. They wanted to eat some David soup. They wanted to eat some David soup. That's what I'm saying. Because what did David do when he killed the lion? You know why? Because it's bad blood between the two. It ain't. These are Baruch in the Apocrypha 3 to 26 to 30. Chapter 3, verse 26 to 30. Baruch. Let me find it. I'm amazed how many, doing this research, I'm just amazed how much, this bloodline is all throughout the Bible, the Apocrypha, in the book of Enoch, it's a warning. 3:26 to 30. 26 to 30. Alright. There were the giants famous. There were the giants famous from the beginning, that were of so great stature and so expert in war. And again, the people of Yah's people are sheep herders. Yah won't love, peace, and happiness. But it's funny that the children, the offspring of this unholy union between the fallen angels and the women, and if you do the research about that, the judgment of the women, they were turned into mermaids. Mermaids are not good things. They're evil. And that's what the judgment of Yah he put on the women. He turned them into sirens. Sirens or mermaids. And just like they got Ariel, the little mermaid, Disney is a demonic enterprise for Satan. They like to take all the things that Yah has cursed and make it acceptable. And now you got, for Halloween, you're going to have some little girls and boys in Ariel mermaid suits, makeup and everything. They were experts in... You in Babylon, Brother King? Not only are they going to be in mermaid costumes, they probably already had readjusted surgery. These people crazy. You go look online, man. Parents are trying to pass laws so the children can have sexual correction surgery as a child because it's illegal now.
It's legal, yeah. It's legal now to tell what your child is. If you want your child to be a girl, he's a girl. If you want to be a boy, you can change the birth certificate and make him that way.
Mm-hmm. But you can't do the corrective sexual surgery
Not yet, because they're a child. It's a law now. That's where they messed up yet.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I know they're trying to credit, but that's where they messed up yet already. You know what I'm saying? The child, till he turns 18 is what you can do.
Right.
That's where they messed up yet. And that's why I'm thankful. Sometimes I thank y'all.
Yes.
They going too crazy now.
Yes.
They don't hit themselves in the foot already on that situation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And best believe, man, that's why it's very important to know the spirit of the person that you're procreating with. You know what I'm saying? And I hope it's not in fornication, and even in marriage, to know the spirit.
But like I said, excuse me again, That's why I love what you're talking about this, because I was writing this in my paper right now. Talking about back in the day, you got to go marry that one of your people. And like the Apostle Shalal said the same thing. You got to marry in Mashiach. If you marry in Mashiach, it means both of y'all come together in Yahusha. Ain't one outside of Yahusha and one in Yahusha. You both better be in Yahusha. But see, if you going to marry somebody like me, I just don't marry nobody. Y'all tore my butt already on that. I just don't marry everybody no more. When somebody come to me, I counsel you. 9 times out of 10, now you will be in the Mashiach. If I'm going to marry you, point blank. That's just me. Now, I don't know if anybody else. Just saying, in this house, you will be in the Mashiach. You just don't go, like you in the Mashiach, I know your bishop, that you will come back and get somebody that don't even come to the house of y'all and say, I want to marry you. I'm going to say no. Point blank. You can come here, and he can come here, but I'm not married. Point blank. You're young. He's not Mashiach, but you're the Mashiach. You've been baptized and filled and everything, and he don't know nothing. He's a natural man. He's never in the spiritual. You agree? That's what he's talking about.
That's right. All right, and that was 26. All right, 27. These did not Yah choose. That's a big, this again, Yah is making it very clear. These did not Yah choose. Them. No matter what, man. Like, your parents did something that they wasn't supposed to do. So Yah has to do what he got to do. Because you weren't supposed to be. Neither gave he the way of knowledge unto them. Void of knowledge. Each generation, void of knowledge of Yah. Which is, if you void of knowledge of Yah, that means the Holy Spirit don't dwell in you. But they were destroyed because they had no wisdom and perished through their own foolishness, who have gone up into heaven and taken her and brought her down from the clouds, who hath gone over the sea and found her, and who and will bring her for pure gold. No man knoweth her way, nor thinketh of her path. But he that knoweth all things, he that knoweth all things knoweth her, and hath found her out with his understanding. He that prepared the earth for evermore hath filled it with 4-footed beasts. He, and this is 2:30. 30 was good enough. But y'all get the point about this. Going to this unholy seed line that Yah is not happy with. That this seed line is still here to this day. The children of the devil. That they come to pervert the children of Yah, to turn them out. Just like we was looking at Raven Simone and Britney Spears. Satan has come to turn the daughters out. And we're going to go next to the adultery aspect of them. And after we do that, we're going to watch some little videos, like Ray Charles and whatnot, just to show you how Satan uses, whether they are an incubus by bloodline, or whether they have been perverted to take on the spirit of the incubus. The incubus mind is there to pervert the daughters. Now we'll go to Sirach 9, verse 9. Getting into the adultery aspect of it. So, 9, verse 9. Yep. And as we go into this lesson, you're gonna see that this is something that these incubus teach completely 180 against. Sit not at all with another man's wife, nor sit down with her in thine arms. Not to take this the wrong way, but this is one of the benefits of really studying the Word. Even if you found Christ, you on another man's wife talking about he love you, girl. He love you, and that man come in the door.
First thing he gonna do is get jealous.
You already had jealousy and been already boom done, man.
And because you don't know the conduct of how you're supposed to conducting yourself, you just touching another man's wife, even though it's innocence. Like, man, y'all say don't even keep when he not home. Bobby home? Nope. I'm gone. Bobby don't need to come home seeing you across the table drinking tea with his wife. I know I wouldn't like that. Me personally, I wouldn't. Brother Ron, man, I love Brother Ron, man. But I know. And vice versa, I wouldn't do that to if he married and his wife was home alone, unless it's on some protection stuff, like, hey man, my wife, she hears something at the house, can you go check on her? Do some stuff like that. Yeah. But just to casually sit at home with his wife by ourselves, and spend not thy money with her at the wine, going out for drinks, lest thine heart incline unto her. What is building here without the husband? A relationship. Man, it was really wine in it too. It was really nice talking to Brother Wife, man. She's a sweet woman. Now you're thinking about how good she is, man. That brother's a blessed brother to have that wife. You still talking about her. We gotta work on things to avoid this type of stuff, but this is what the Incubus promotes, the opposite of this. And when we go into this, least thy desire thou fall into destruction. So going some more the adultery aspect of this, Proverbs 6, 12, and 15. Cause just like y'all, man, y'all say I'm jealous of Zion. Y'all don't want Zion sitting with no other false idols or nothing like that. Don't take that off the wall. I don't want you to even entertain it. No, you ain't worshiping it. I don't even want it there. Jealous, and just like I'm of y'all, I get jealous over mine. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong to be jealous. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a part of it. But don't be wicked jealous. Nothing like that. Because this in I think it was in Leviticus, when a man starts to become jealous of his wife and he suspects her for committing adultery, she had to go to the priest. Okay, you got it.
I'm serious, man. We are touching things. These are things I'm writing in my papers, my schoolwork right now. What we're talking about. We're talking about this stuff, man. It's called a spiritual jealousy.
Bam.
That's what I'm saying. Then you go to the priest, then if she get caught with it, she'll drink the stuff and her leg will rot and her belly will swell up. That means she's guilty. Vice versa. That's how they go.
That's right. That's right. So this spirit of jealousy, because he just sitting at the house, he just got this feeling, and that's by knowing the spirit. Sometimes he might feel right. I knew something was up with you. I knew you and Bobby, y'all just wasn't drinking tea. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I felt it in my spirit. And then what did y'all told them to do this. This is
yes.
This is y'all ordinance saying, hey man, if this happened, you go do it like this.
That's right. You go to the priest.
That's right.
Drink this stuff. But now you got to rock the dish.
Correct. And now you can't separate. There can be a separation if adultery did take place, and that's something that you can put in the blood of. That's something that you can
both. Huh? You can't do just one. You got to do both.
You talking about?
When you get rid of one, you got to get rid of the two. Because if you don't, it'll just perpetuate. You keep going.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Alright. Adultery. Caught in adultery. Like when they brought the woman to Jesus.
Oh, okay, I get it. Both the man and the woman.
Said she was caught in adultery. He should have asked what was the man. But he said he without saying cast the first stone.
That's right. And
But it should have been both of them.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because what was he trying to do? He was trying to destroy the daughter of Zion. That guy, because the priests have been infiltrated. You know what I'm saying? Like Herod and all, Herodias, they were infiltrated. You know, and if you go into the history of this, I don't even think his mother. I think his mother had some kindred with Jezebel. So I don't even know, you know, how deep that was in wickedness they was. But that could have been a spirit, somebody overtaken by the spirit of the Incubus, ready to kill the woman. Look at it. We got the woman right here. Let's kill her right now. Because the Incubus has full hatred for the daughters of Zion. They want them dead. They just want to use them and abuse them and want them dead, because they're doing the will of Satan. All right. 12 to 15. Is that it? Yeah. No. It's 33. I mean 33. No, 32. I mean 32 on down. Proverbs 6, 32 to 35. But whosoever committed adultery with a woman lacketh understanding. He that doeth it destroyeth his own flesh, his own soul. Now think about this. If these beings are committing adultery with your wife, the scriptures say they ain't got wisdom. That means the Kadesh Holy Spirit's not in them, and what spirit are they coming in? They're void of the wisdom and the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is not in these vessels, is wickedness. So they don't care if they ruin your life. It ain't gonna be like, man, you know, I enjoy committing adultery with her, but man, I shouldn't have did that. It ain't gonna be nothing. I'm glad I committed adultery. Call me later, baby. You know, because you operate in two different spirits. One of a child of Yah that's going off, and one a child of the devil that has no remorse for you. He that 33, a wound and dishonor shall he get, and his reproach shall not be wiped away. For jealousy. Now this is Yah talking to man. He's saying this is a characteristic of my princess, man. For jealousy is the rage of a man. Therefore he will not spare in the day of vengeance. He will not regard any ransom, neither will he his rest content, though thou givest many gifts. When they defiled Jacob's daughter, Benjamin was like, nah, man, I don't want your daughter. I don't want no money from you. I don't want a family with you. And they killed about 12, 15 tribes. It's in the book of Enoch. They went from tribe of the Egyptians to tribe of another tribe. They was killing everybody because they defiled. They started with they defiling their sister. So this whole thing about jealousy, of vengeance, about women, this is not a big thing. They killed probably like 100,000 people because they defiled their sister, and the vengeance, because they had the love for their sister, their vengeance was not quenched, and that was ordained by Yah. Yah had David, Judah running up walls, killing people, slaughtering everybody. Judah alone took out like 7,000 people, and he was every time he screamed, Yah gave him more strength. Because again, Yah ain't with all this stuff. Ecclesiastes 7:5 in the Bible, the Old Testament. 7 and 5. Okay, now we're gonna start reviewing some songs about this adultery stuff. You know, I seen this yesterday, man. I thought this was wonderful to see. Read something too. That's it. I seen this today. I was like, y'all must have wanted me to do this. I seen this literally this morning while I was finalizing, when I was just, getting ready for the lesson. I seen this online, a few things. I was like, man, this is all about y'all. Y'all must have wanted me to do this lesson. It's right on point. I seen that, I was like, what? And you'll get why. You'll get why. All right. And after that, we'll go to some videos. 7 and 5. It is better to hear the rebuke of the wise than for a man to hear the song of fools. And right now we were supposed to go into the videos, but you know, when we start listening to these Ray Charles songs, James Brown, and et cetera, we're gonna see how they have been leading the women astray with this Elvis Presley. We're gonna see how they've been leading these women astray with that incubus spirit, because they doing the work with Satan. But let me read this stuff. But we was talking about the Egyptians and how perverted they were, and just like in Ezekiel 23, it says, when thou was in Egypt, they learned all of their whoredoms, and when thou left, it was still on the mind. That's why when you do sexual perverted things, especially when you're a virgin, you can't get unless you repent of that and put and ask Yahusha to cleanse you and put the blood on you. Until that happens, you could have the best man, the best godly man, righteous man that you can have, and y'all could be doing intimate things that are according to the scriptures, Songs of Solomon, beautiful, wonderful sexual relationship, but you've been perverted. And you're gonna remember, man, I remember Big Tay-Tay, he used to do this to me, and he used to do this to me. And again, if this person was a child of the devil or had the incubus spirit on them, they perverted her so much that she can't get right until she repent of that and ask Yah to heal that of her through Yahusha. So that's a big thing right there, because you're doing your part, sexually gratification each other, but her mind's been perverted and she can't get that out because a seed was planted and it's growing.
That's what caused her to go back to fornication and adultery.
Bam. And now she hasn't been doing it for about 2 or 3 years, and